Viewer, the irony is almost poetic. Imagine a country like Canada that's grappling with actual, tangible foreign interference. Chinese election meddling, Russian espionage, Saudi economic blackmail. And yet, when it comes to pointing fingers, the Trudeau government has decided to zero in on a TV show. You heard that right, not just any TV show, but a segment by me, yours truly, right here on 5 Live. Don't believe me? Please look at this. Because nothing screams threat to national sovereignty quite like a few spicy monologues from a broadcaster halfway across the world. An opinion piece, this one I did on this show in September last year, has been featured in an ominous new list commissioned by Trudeau's foreign ministry on potential foreign information manipulation and interference. This was after Trudeau's statement blaming India for the killing of terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar last year. Well, in that piece, which all of you viewers so kindly watched, and it went viral at that time, I had basically called Trudeau a terrorist enabler who had insulted the proud global Sikh community by pandering to designated terrorists and defending their Canadian citizenship. So let's break this down just a little bit. Canada has had quite the journey with foreign interference. There's China, accused of meddling in elections, harassing diaspora communities and engaging in espionage. Russia's cyber trolls have been busy trying to disrupt everything from politics to vaccine distribution, allegedly. Not to mention, Canada had to deal with 2 years of diplomatic drama after arresting Huawei's CFO, during which time Beijing decided to flex its muscles by detaining Canadians and halting trade. But when it comes to declaring a real problem, the Trudeau administration finds its smoking gun in my critique of Trudeau's stand on the Khalistan issue. Of course, forget those pesky cyber hacks, trade threats or political pressures. My show, 5 Live on India Today, is where the danger truly lies. How could Canadians even sleep at night knowing there are TV segments in India daring to question Justin Trudeau's stance after he has attacked that country? How dare they? It's almost as if the government decided that actual cases of interference were just too much of a hassle, especially China's. Well, dealing with election meddling, too complex. Addressing economic pressure tactics, costly. Tackling cyber espionage requires money and effort. But identifying a television piece from across the oceans and branding it as foreign interference, easy. Almost too easy. It's the diplomatic equivalent of getting out of a complicated exam by claiming your dog ate your homework. By spotlighting my show, the message seems to be pretty clear. Canada won't stand for any criticism of its leaders, or should I say Trudeau. Not even if it's being aired on a network thousands of miles away. After all, the easiest way to tackle foreign interference is to redefine what foreign interference even means. Now, this whole situation is a masterclass in irony. Well, here's a government in Canada that's been called out for its slow, sometimes lukewarm response to credible terrorist threats. But when it sees an opportunity to turn a broadcast into a political scapegoat, it jumps at the chance. It's almost as if this is less about addressing foreign interference and more about trying to shift attention away from the real issues. And hey, if an Indian journalist's monologue can be reframed as an attack on Canadian sovereignty, why not go for it? Too hard to resist. Well, I should be thanking Trudeau, frankly, for highlighting my journalism and getting thousands more, perhaps millions more Canadians to consume this terrible, interfering misinformation from India. But this is a serious issue, viewer. By naming me and a handful of other Indian voices, Trudeau appears to be using the Khalistani terrorist playbook that he clearly loves so much. Release lists, paint targets, make dangerous suggestions of intent, when all that I've really done is put the spotlight on some uncomfortable realities about Trudeau's politics. Is it not true, for instance, that Trudeau has defended the most egregious and dangerous threats by Khalistanis in Canada as freedom of speech, a tableau showing Indira Gandhi's assassination, pictures of Indian diplomats calling for action against them, even vigilante justice, even violence, attacks on high commissions? Is it not true that Trudeau's PMO is in touch with designated Khalistani terrorists and gangsters? Is it not true that Trudeau's government has repeatedly signaled that the rights of India-designated Khalistani terrorists in Canada are his priority, and not the fact that they themselves represent foreign interference from, let's say, Pakistan, for whom Khalistan is a strategic project? Is it not true that a shameless MP from Trudeau's party, Sukh Dhaliwal, is currently sponsoring a petition to open a new investigation into the 1985 Air India Kanishka bombing because he wants a different verdict from the two previous verdicts which have nailed Khalistani terrorists who live or lived in Canada? The one thing we know for sure is this, viewer. Trudeau does not like the truth.